Hey everybody, I got a giveaway in this video. Stay tuned to the end to find out what you can win. Last time we left you, I was leaving Sacramento after having a blast with Vinny and his crew. Piper and I hit the road south towards Oxnard, California. But first, a quick detour was in order. The Airstream needed some TLC. We pulled into the Blue Beacon Truck Wash in Stockton, California to scrub off some road grime. From there, we made our way into the Yosemite Lakes Base Camp Lodge just outside of Yosemite Park for the night. The rig was mostly sparkling, but I had a little bit of cleaning to do, so I found a new use for my bed slide. I can use it as a step stool to clean the front of the Airstream. After Piper was tired of cleaning, we called it a day and went to bed. Bright and early the next morning, we headed into Yosemite, chasing a memory from 2019 when we visited this same park with our old fifth wheel. Our mission? Recreate a special photo from that trip. Piper and I stopped at the sign to take some photos, but she was too interested in the squirrels running around to be photogenic, so we carried on. We cruised through the west entrance, and if you've never driven through those iconic tunnels to witness what happens on the other side, the breathtaking view of the valley, you are missing out. The magic never fades. Once inside, I hit the valley loop. We stopped at every turnout to take some photos. It's always like a postcard comes to life. I was able to recreate the photo from our fifth wheel, and now with the Airstream, it's one of my favorite spots to stop and take a photo. But the rest of the park is absolutely amazing as well. Yosemite National Park is absolutely stunning. The valley specifically, get down in the Yosemite Valley. I recommend you get here at 5 o'clock in the morning. If you're towing a trailer specifically, there's tunnels all over you got to drive through, and it's nice to be able to ride in the center line. You got plenty of room to make it, but the traffic around here is crazy, and traveling with a trailer is nowhere fun. With all the extra people, and I like to stop and take photos on the side of the road, so highly recommend getting in here at super early and then get out of here before the traffic starts coming through, because there are cars parked everywhere, and we're in the shoulder season right now, so it's always a beautiful place to visit, but never fun towing a trailer around through here. From there, we continued on to Oxnard, California. But we made a pit stop again to see our friends Josh and Tammy. It was Easter weekend, and I was lucky enough to share some quality family time with them and their loved ones. Moments like these remind us of how grateful we are to have these incredible friends in our lives. Have I ever told you all how much I love this community? Well, I do. I love this community. The Airstream community, the Airstream International Club community, the RV community at large. It's great. It's really fantastic. I'm so thankful for these wonderful humans and all the wonderful people who reach out to us. I wish I could see everybody that invites us over. If you are out there in the world, I would love to meet you. Piper and I would love to meet you. Blair, Piper, and I would all love to meet you. So please don't stop sending where you are and all the things. And if you see we're near your area on social media somewhere, not necessarily YouTube, because YouTube is typically delayed, but if you see us on our social media pages, they're pretty current, and we're near you. Please let us know you're in the area. We'd love to meet up, and we veer off the path often to meet folks and really thoroughly enjoy it. And again, you are the community that makes us what we are. Thank you for continuing to bring us into your home. Thank you for continuing to bring us into your smart tablets and devices and things like that. And thank you for continuing to reach out for assistance and help and insight into what we do. And Josh and Tammy, thank you, and your extended family, thank you so very much for inviting me into your home. And loved meeting everyone, and Piper has thoroughly loved running around this farm. I'm just so humbled by the opportunities we have, and so humbled by the wonderful people that continue to present themselves in our lives. I love you all. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye. From there, I departed town, and my next stop, Oxnard, California. It was a bit of a drive to get there, but I was very excited for the next step in this journey. It's just getting dark. I'm pulling into a secret location to do something really cool over the next couple days. Stay tuned to find out what it is. I'm in the fun zone at Aircrafters. It's nice and quiet in here. Got the trailer pulled in here, so it's looking good, and it's beautiful purple light in here. But tomorrow morning, the fun begins. Got invited to come out here and see the new shop. So this is the new Aircrafter shop in Oxnard, California. And this is really a design studio where they're going to be setting up things and testing things and doing all that. They will do some installs here, but I'm pumped to be here. I just had a great chat with Sean and some of his team here, and I really love what they do. I love the products. I love all the things, and it's really cool. And I'm going to show you something that's really even cooler than that. So right here is the new spare tire carrier, and here's the new generator carrier. But look, it's got my own little logo on it already. And there, and here. I feel so special. Got like a special edition thing here, so it's really cool. But anyway, I'm so thankful to be here and so grateful to Sean for this opportunity to get this thing installed. And it's just been a great few days here in California. Spent some time with Vinny and some other time with some really great new friends, and I'm going to be kind of sad to leave. I've really enjoyed my time here so far. So anyway, I'm going to go to bed. It's late. It's been a long drive today. But thankful to be here and thankful to get all the things done. And Piper's enjoying her time being a shop dog and going to be a shop dog for the next few days. It's early morning here in the warehouse area. Cool stuff is going to happen today and tomorrow, and maybe a little bit on Wednesday. It's Monday morning. Happy post-Easter, everyone. And I am excited to be here with the friends and getting ready for the stuff that's going to happen. I don't know the entire process. I kind of fully a little bit understand it. So we'll head back in and Chief Piper, she's out here doing her business in the morning. So I'll head back in and I'll make a little bit of coffee and I'll kind of walk you through what I think is going to happen today. And then when Sean and all the team gets here, go through some of the stuff with them. There's the trusty old truck. Here is the awesome Aircrafter spot. There's the chicken light. No light? Light. This is the spare tire carrier. This will go back behind the rear axle and move the spare tire back there. This is the generator holder. This will go where the spare tire currently is. So this will get wired underneath a junction box for some wiring to go through. There's a switch up here that we got to install. But basically my spare tire that's under there now is going to come out. The bracket for it's going to come out and all that will move to the back, which is what we're going to work on today. I'm going to talk to you real quickly about how this wiring thing is set up, and you can see on my screen here over on the left hand side the smart plug. So going from the smart plug straight down to the AC DC distribution panel, if you will, all your circuit breakers and fuses there, that's what originally happened. So plug came in, 50 amp dual phase came in and went under the trailer up over to the other side where my circuit breaker panel is, and that's where the power was sent out from. What I did when I first got this trailer was I disconnected those wires from the smart plug and I inserted my own 6-3 wire, and it goes straight to a progressive inline surge protector. From there it goes to a 50 amp circuit breaker, so I call that like belt and suspenders, if you will. So it's just a double section of, it's a double thing of protection for power coming in. And I also put that inline surge protector right there in the closet, so if it ever goes bad and I need to change it out, I still have access to it. It's not buried somewhere. So if you ever do add an inline surge protector, I highly recommend that you put it, so if you're going to put it inside the trailer, put it somewhere accessible so you can get it to it later if you need to. From there, it went out to the inverter, and it goes from the inverter back to a junction box, and then from there it ties back into the original wiring, and it goes over here to the distribution panel like always. In this wiring application for the generator, we had to put a transfer switch in. So right after the power leaves that second circuit breaker I have there, we cut the line here going to the inverter, and it goes up to the transfer switch, and then power goes back. Basically, we just broke the wire and spliced that wire in right there. And when the generator comes on and the generator is running, so the generator, the start battery for the generator is the main battery for the rig, the GC3. So it starts the generator, and once power is coming out of the generator, the transfer switch clicks over. So all power is coming from that and not from the shore power. And it goes into the inverter, and the inverter then pushes power towards the rest of the trailer. Now, it's only a 2.5 kilowatt generator, so it's not a 30 amp service. So the transfer switch pulls power into the inverter, and anything over the requirement of the generator providing, that's where your GC3 comes in. So the MultiPlus does a really cool thing, and that's one reason I can run all of my stuff even on a 30 amp service, is because having the MultiPlus and that battery, or if I had more batteries I could do more. But I set my little dial on my manual control for the inverter. Anything over that number, it will just automatically pull from the battery, and you don't even know the difference ever. And then as soon as it doesn't need it anymore, it just stops in and just keeps pulling power from wherever. So I can run both air conditions on the generator, even though it's a less than capability for that application. And I can do pretty much anything on even a 20 amp service if I need to, but it'll pull from the battery quite a bit. And your inverter gets hot. Had I known I was ever going to do this generator setup, I would have wired things a little differently. I would have routed the wiring a little differently than I did, but I'm still not unhappy with the setup, and I like all the opportunities that it has. Also, if I had known that I was getting a generator in the future, I would have gotten the Quattro, Victron Quattro, because it's a much better system, and you basically could have bypassed this transfer switch altogether because it would have just wired straight to it. So it's a much better system, and I believe that's what Ronnie Dennis is putting in with all the new generator setup. Again, this is a little out of my depth of knowledge and understanding for all the wiring of these things, but I know basic wiring, but the generator was something new to me, and how it's wired in, I don't fully grasp that concept all yet. So more to follow as I learn more about it. After playing with Piper for a little bit, I started removing the spare tire carrier. A gung then came in, and he started removing the gas line for the outdoor grill, if you will. It's not something I use. And then he cleaned up the area, moved some of the wiring and the gas lines so we can prep for the generator install later today. Then he showed us all the wiring requirements he has. This is Sean. And now Sean's showing me how the spare tire carrier works. Pretty interesting design, very cool design. They're prepping to put it under the belly, getting the lines tight and the wires tight. Lowering the nose jack so the back end of the trailer comes up. And from here, they're planning out where all the rivet nuts go. So these are receptacles that hold the against the frame. So through the belly pan into the frame, you put the rivet nuts, and then the spare tire carrier goes on that. This is Uwe. He's going to be helping wire up the generator. I'll do an interview with him later, and you can learn all about what he does in Southern California. 2 Airstreams, really awesome dude. Happy to get this thing going. Sean right here is putting in a breaker for the 50 amp transfer switch. So he's tying the 2 ends together from the side the generator comes on. And then you can see them marking up the belly, getting it ready for all the things, and then they're doing the final marking and then the final install of the rivet nuts and the spare tire install. Here we are prepping the generator wiring for what's going to happen later. And they're handing me that wire right there, the white wire, which is the control module, so I can go put the controller in. I just mounted the starter switch right here, so up and off. And I'm going to replace this counter here, the hour counter, with a digital version soon. I've already ordered it. I'll replace that so I don't have to hear this thing tick. Back under my bed here, because this is where all the wiring runs through. So we got to put the transfer switch in here in a little bit. But what I'm doing right now is wiring up the starter run switch for the generator through the storage locker and running along the formal wiring that I have in there already. Now Sean's going to teach me how to use this spare tire.
This is inside of here is what they have, what they call a worm gear.
Okay.
So you got a big sprocket on that guy, and then you got this thing that looks like a corkscrew. So a worm gear is, they can exert a lot of torque. So the safety here is, you see these little yellow caps?
Yes.
Okay, those are concealing a roll pin,
okay,
and that's holding this lug on. So if you over torque, this thing will be the first to break, and it's intentional because that's going to preserve your worm gear.
Okay.
So you just don't want to over torque on that. So you can either use, the impact, which we'll do right now, and then you've also got, the hand tool.
Okay.
You want to go that route. So
spare tire is on, back here behind the rear axle. Really, really awesome attachment here and good looking thing. So I am excited for the next steps too. Let's go. Sean, Agung, and Uwe started working on the generator install while I went outside to visit with my friend Chris from Airborne Shop. Hey everybody, I'm here with Chris. He's the Airborne Shop, and we met last year at the International Rally. And just happened, he is right here by the Aircrafter Shop. And really great to see you, Chris, and I thank you for what you got going on. So what we are going to do is, when the generators are installed, I'm going to purchase me 2 40-pound propane tanks and use his tank extender. Really, it's a bigger lid to make it room, so I don't have to spend $1,500 to get a 40-pound propane tank cover. But he makes some really great things. If you store stuff up in your propane tanks, he's got the air boards up there, a host of other things to help you unlock your windows, battery light cover, which I really like, the new bright green light battery button cover. I use that all the time, talk about it all the time. But anything else you want to tell the world? My small world.
Yeah, we're just, great to be out here at Aircrafter Shop in, beautiful Oxnard. We live nearby in Camarillo, which is like 5 minutes from here.
Yeah, it is.
And I heard Brad was going to be in town, so, things laid out and the coordination was great. But, Airborne Shop, we're continuously developing new products. And we got the new conversion kit coming out. We got a plastic air board that's going to completely match the top of the air dome, so it looks seamless, like it came from the factory.
Awesome.
And then, of course, we've got a new awning plate coming out to change the direction of your awning arm from this to this, so you're not bumping your head. And,
for the manual awning.
You're going off for the manual awnings, going off to, urgent care and other places during your vacation when you're supposed to be out camping.
Okay.
But that's what's going on this season with the company, and we'll be at the International again this year in York.
Awesome.
We're sponsoring the pickleball tournament again, and we should have we're gonna have a lot of good players out there this year. And if you play, come on out, and when you're not airstreaming and enjoying the rally, come on out and see us and play a little bit.
Great. Chris, thank you very much. So great to see you, and I appreciate your time today. Really great to chat with you.
Oh, you bet. Simplify.
Yeah, generator was now installed, and we were working on the transfer switch. Agung and Uwe were working on the transfer switch. I was just observing and learning. Back underneath the trailer to run the final wiring through the floor and get everything tidied up under here. Agung did such a great job of that. I took this time to go get some photos of Piper. She was looking all regal. And then the muffler came in. We'd been waiting on this from Vinny's shop, actually, to get mailed in. So scuffed this up, put some heat-resistant paint on it. And while Sean was finishing the install of the muffler, I took time to go interview Uwe and learn about his setup and where he comes from and how he got into this business. Very interesting guy. Thank you very much for all your help today. I'm so thankful for you and thankful to meet you. Can you tell us what's your background in working on Airstreams, and what do you do at your shop? And where is your shop?
My shop I have two locations. I have a location in Rialto, California, and another one near Joshua Tree, California also. And my specialty is vintage Airstream restoration and energy systems.
Okay.
Specifically for RVs and Airstreams in general.
Okay.
You know,
is there any specific year models, this year to this year kind of thing?
I do them all.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys out there that specialize in the newer coaches. So I don't really do much of that business.
Okay. Mostly older ones?
But mostly, I mean, I do energy systems on newer coaches like yours. And basically all other RVs as well. But my specialty, as far as my craft is, my brand is restorations and interior designs.
Like shell off restorations and redo?
If necessary, yeah. Drive systems like axles, brakes. Do a lot of disc brake conversions.
And how did you get started in this business?
I bought an old Airstream on a Monday, I think, and took it to Baja on a Thursday.
Okay.
Just got new tires on it and went for it. And of course, nothing worked. So I'm sitting in the sand in Baja trying to figure this thing out.
Okay.
On the beach, and decided, okay, well, I've got it working, got the fridge working, got this working, got that working. And I realized that there's a lot of people that need help with that.
Sure.
And then I joined a group through air forums.
Okay.
And we did a lot of trips together. And then before I knew it, I had all kinds of work.
Wow.
Doing that.
And how long have you been doing this? And do you have a website also?
I do have a website, but it's under construction right now, so it's hit or miss.
Okay.
And it's area63productions.com.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. When did you start this?
When was Afghanistan? I'm trying to think. 90s, something.
Like the Russia in Afghanistan, or
the war in Afghanistan.
It was in the 80s, like 89.
Was it? Yeah. So that's when I started, because prior to that, I had a musical instruments business.
Okay.
And when that happened and the economy collapsed because of it, I lost that business and just kind of seamlessly moved over into the Airstream restorations. My specialty was making sounds for guitar players.
Okay.
They would go in the studio with a certain need, and maybe not quite able to find that sound, and we would mess with the gear until it was just so.
Okay.
Kind of like mixing paint for an artist.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so like that. And of course, we would change speakers, and we would change pickups and the guitars, and we would change tubes and amplifiers and resistors and make it.
Do you still play an instrument?
I used to play bass.
Okay.
And I can still like hit notes, but I'm so out of it right now. It's not even funny. And I still have gear, but I don't really have time or mental energy to pursue that.
These shiny things keep you busy nowadays?
Yeah, very much so.
Do you have just you, or you have technicians who do work with you?
I have two people and an accounting firm, so we kind of make everything work on a as small as possible basis.
Okay.
I used to have more employees, but it diluted creativity to a point where I was just running around all day doing paperwork.
Sure.
And I don't want to do that.
You like touching and doing.
Yeah, I like hands-on.
I very much appreciate your insight and thoughts into this trailer and what we've accomplished here today. And It's shocking to me that we're done and ready to crank it up and get going.
I was lucky enough to meet Sean early on.
Yeah.
And we kind of went through this process, the development stages and all of that together. Him more so than I, but we were always trying to figure out ways to make things happen.
I love it.
Both on the business end and on the technical end.
Well, I feel very fortunate to get to meet you and be here today with you, and I'm so thankful for what you do and
thank you
for making this community better.
Yeah,
so thank you so much.
Absolutely.
That's all for this episode, folks. Tune in next week. We're going to start up the generator. I'm going to go over the decibels. We're going to weigh the hitch. We're going to weigh the trailer and truck. I'm going to go over some final thoughts on it, and I'm going to give you an insight into Sean and the whole Aircrafters team and what they do and how they got started. All right, the giveaway for this week is this Air Duster. I did a review video on this thing some time back, and it's amazing. It's super powerful, so if you need to dust off your computer, you want to dust off the things inside your trailer or inside your tow vehicle or wherever you have going on, it's a really cool, very powerful lithium battery duster. And I'm going to give this away. So all you have to do to enter to win is go to our website, 13adventures.com. Over on the side, click on Contact Us, and then type in RS11 electric duster, anything like that. Any combination of that will be fine, and I'll know what you're entering to win. This video comes out Sunday morning at 8 a.m., and I will collect entries for 72 hours. On Wednesday morning at 8 a.m., I will draw a winner and announce that across all of our social medias, and I will send an email to the selected winner to get your shipping address to get it sent out to you. Thank you again for making us a part of your day. Thanks for joining, and I hope you come back next week for part 2 of this generator install where we get it all cranked up and get moving. So, very cool thing. Anyway, have an awesome day, everybody. Love you all. Bye. As always, thank you for joining. Thank you for making us a part of your day. We love you all. If you have any questions, please ask. Can't wait to see you down the road. Happy adventures, everybody.